Hello everybody and welcome back to the second shelf and to the first video in kind of a new series that I'm starting this year, and I called it BuzzBook. Hot or not. So what I want to do is, because I don't read that many new releases, I want to commit one video each month to one book that has really a lot of buzz, hence BuzzBook. And I will give a review answering the question, is it worth the buzz? Is it hot or is it not? I chose already a couple of books for the next months. And I will make, like I said, a review video like this one. And at the end of the video, I will tell you which book is up next that I will read next. So it's all new releases. The next book, for instance, will be released end of January, and then I will read it and make a review end of February. But to start things off, I picked a book, as you could see from the show notes and the thumbnail, that was already released in 2023 in November, and that is Naomi Alderman's next book, The Future. As you can see from the cover already, the theme, it's like a fox and a rabbit. So it's kind of fight or flight theme in the book. I will avoid spoilers as much as possible, but I will in these videos, but I will give away a little bit of the plot. So not only the premise, but maybe once or twice I will say something about the plot if that is necessary for the review. But in general, these reviews are spoiler free. If not, if there's a spoiler coming, I will alert you. Anyway, Naomi Alderman, you probably know her from her first book, The Power, which was really successful, published 5-6 years ago. She comes from tech. She has worked in tech for a very long time. She is a UK author, by the way. I should probably say that. I don't know her how old she is, but that's not really important. Anyway, so this is, again, kind of like The Power was sci-fi. This is kind of a sci-fi, but set in the very, very near future, because a lot of things are familiar. And it centers around the power and the power abuse. That's the premise of a group of men who have really made it in tech. So you have 3 companies, Medlar, Fantail, Anvil, and they are, I mean, if you then look at how they are described, and you will immediately see, well, we're talking about Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, this type. Fantail is like Facebook, so it's Zuckerberg. But it's a little, always a little twist, because I think that Naomi Alderman did want to get sued, but that's the basic idea. You have these guys who made these huge empires based on tech, and they are not good guys in the book. So what to do about it? And then you have 2 main protagonists. That is Martha, who is the a personal assistant to one of those guys, and a blogger who from Hong Kong, who blogs about survival stuff, like people building bunkers and things like that. Those 2 women meet, and the plot takes off from there, together with other people who are involved, like the ousted former boss of one of the companies, who is quite unhappy with where the company is going, the wife of one of the owners of those tech companies. So you have a group of renegades, so to speak, and then, they look at what can we do. The book opens, there is no date, by the way. It just says North California, November. And there is something happening in the world, some kind of disaster. At least that's what we gather from the first couple of pages, and how these CEOs of these tech companies react to that, and what the renegades have to do with it. So that is the basic plot. What I really liked, it's not a straightforward timeline. It goes back and forth. For instance, the fact that Martha meets the survival blogger, that's in the past. So we go back and forth in time. And that works quite well with the story, I think. So it's not just a kind of a gadget. What I really enjoyed about the book is the way that Naomi Alderman can really sweep you along with the story. She has this capacity. I also found that in The Power. She has this capacity to grab you, by the collar, so to speak, and just sweep you along with her in that story. She does that extremely well. I had not a minute of boredom or in this book. I wanted, even though it's not a suspense thriller, but it's really page turning in that sense. You want to know what happens next. You want to know what happened and why things happened in a certain way. So this is a book, if you start that, at 9 o'clock in the evening, you will probably not get a lot of sleep that night. And I love that. I really love that. Did I think it was worth the buzz? Not entirely, to be honest, even though I liked it. And I thought the reading experience was just a great ride, roller coaster ride, with somebody who just knows where we're going. But I thought it was the idea that you can change the world if you just tackle a couple of guys who run certain companies, I think is extremely naive. I saw a talk with Naomi Alderman where she said, well, The Guardian said anti-capitalist novel. Well, it's not, because I'm not an anti-capitalist. And I think that's exactly the problem. Because the real issue here is not those 4 or 5 guys. The issue is the context, the structure that they can operate in a way they do, how they do. That sentence was grammatically horrible, but you understood, I think, what I mean. So Alderman doesn't really tackle that issue. She still thinks, well, if capitalism is run by the good guys, by people like Martha, then everything will be fine. And I think that's really, really, really deeply naive and bullshit. Because if you operate in a certain system, you cannot attack the system from within. I mean, Audre Lorde knew that. You can't destroy the master's house with the master's tools. No, you can't. So I felt the message, first of all, it was pretty heavy on message, but because it was so suspenseful and it had so much speed, that didn't matter. But in the end, I thought the message was just not for me, because I don't believe what obviously the author believes and what the good guys, the renegades in this book, what they believe. No, that just didn't work for me. So I think it's really entertaining. The way it's structured works well. It's well written. It doesn't have too much tech that we don't know, which sometimes is silly. It has a little bit of that, and some of it is silly. You have these kind of survival suits that yeah, that's, I thought, but okay. It's not the main thing. The tech is not the main thing. So I just rolled with it. But the end message, the was just, I thought, disappointing in a way, or at least not as radical as I would have hoped given the premise. But if you're in for an entertaining read, yes, go with it. So in that sense, it's certainly worth it. The next book I already kind of hinted is a January publication, and that is Kylie Reid's new book, Come and Get It. I don't have it yet, so I have to go and get it end of January when it comes out. Kylie Reid published Such a Fun Age a couple of years ago as her debut novel. She's a Black American author. And Such a Fun Age was highly buzzed. It didn't gel with me that well. I didn't think it was well plotted. And as a plot-oriented reader, there has then to be something else, like in the future, that takes me along, and I didn't find that in Such a Fun Age. But it was a debut, so, you know. And this one, her second book, is certainly a buzz book, and I am intrigued, and I have no idea what it is about. I haven't looked yet. I just pick those books not because they are specifically interesting to me, but because they have such a buzz, and everybody says this is the hottest January release or what have you. That's why I picked it. So I will read it, and I will make a video like this one end of February. And oh, by the way, if you have books coming out in, April, September, whatever, that you feel are worthy of being a buzz book, let me know down in the comments and I will have a look. I can't promise that I pick the book that you think I should pick, but I will certainly have a look. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy this new series where we talk about one book and more in depth. Let me know. And thank you for watching. Looking forward to your comments as always. And I will talk to you all soon in the next one.